Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
To listen ad-free, visit cinspod.co/subscribe. Starting at $2.99 a month, you'll also get access to our exclusive bonus content episodes when you join through Patreon or Apple subscriptions. Thanks for supporting the show.
This week on Sins and Survivors, we covered the disappearances of Abby Roberts and Phillip Johnson that have remained unsolved for more than 13 years. Get ready as we put in a little overtime on Swing Shift and go behind the scenes into what went into making the unsolved disappearance of Abby Roberts and Phillip Johnson.
Hello, subscribers.
Hello, subscribers.
Welcome back to another Swing Shift episode.
Welcome back. Thank you for being subscribers.
Thank you for being subscribers.
Another
episode.
Another Swing Shift.
What day would this episode be being released? I don't even know. What day would this come out?
June 17th.
June 17th. Oh.
I think.
Okay.
I think that's the day.
All right.
Good times. Thank you for doing the research on this one.
And please share Abby and Phillip's missing posters. You were saying something about research?
Yes. Thank you for doing the research on this one. Because I was doing a lot of editing and I didn't get mine done in time, so we had to do this one a week earlier.
Yes.
So, you really busted through this one. You did a good job.
Thank you. This one is really sad.
Yeah, it really is.
And a little confusing. And
there are definitely I feel like there are some obvious questions and theories that come up that I hesitate to even talk about in our Swing Shift episode.
Yeah, and I think that's partly what makes ethical true crime a challenge. And when you don't want to speculate and you want to remember that these are real people. These are real people who live in our community.
Yes. We definitely don't want to speculate. We don't want to accuse somebody of something.
We mentioned it briefly in the episode where I kind of said it vaguely that, from our research, we could see that the family had lived in the community for a long time. I did find an obituary for I think a grandfather, but it might have actually have been a great grandfather. And just when it listed out the children and then the grandchildren and then the great grandchildren, and said that the person was the man had been a resident, I believe, of Henderson. And I was like, wow, this family's lived here for a very long time. And there's a lot of them. It is a very large family. So there are neighbors, not that we know them personally, but
not literally our
neighbors, not to my knowledge.
That'd be wild.
And then the fact that their children very likely are, in our community, and they're like teenagers, and the kids know how to search up stuff on the Google. So, you want to be cautious we're always cautious about using the names of young people. But by that same token, Abby's been missing for 13 years. Phillip's been missing for 13 years. And, it's past time. And like I said we said in the episode, the detectives at the time, in 2015, they were like, we're going to retire and we hope this gets solved. And, it's just heartbreaking. This is a tough one.
Yeah, it really was. It blows me away that they just seemingly disappeared into thin air.
Right.
Like, this is one of those cases where like the police always say, in the things we watch when they're interviewed, people don't just disappear. Human bodies do not just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you burn a human body, they are very difficult to get rid of unless you work at a crematorium.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, there is debris.
Mm-hmm. And it's not clear they had any enemies or
no. There's no mention.
There's no mention of any motive against them. I mean, maybe the police have something in their files, but it seemed like they didn't have a lot of leads. There wasn't a lot in the press about that. No description of any other individuals involved or any other cars or any other locations. They were very clearly going through the couple's belongings and trying to trace where they had been. Like we talked about how they, found a receipt for a storage facility. So they went and searched the storage facility to try and figure out maybe where they had gone. And then they found the receipt for a different storage facility. So they went into California again and searched. And it's just, it's becoming so creepy the longer we've spent, really researching and hearing more for true crime. It's starting to really creep me out. The more and more the whole abandoned car thing, like the car being found and there just being no trace of the person. I feel like we've covered several cases of disappearances. Stephen Coker,
Stephen Bradley.
Stephen Bradley's car was abandoned in Lake Elsinore, and that's actually really close to Paris, California.
Oh, where the storage place was.
Yeah, which kind of gave me like creepy vibes too. I mean, California is huge, and like the LA area is just massive. It's like no coincidence, but it's just, the more we do the work, the more you start to like see the coincidences, and it's just, these that we've actually know of probably many more cases that if we thought about it for longer of young men disappearing and their cars being the thing that's left behind. And it's just sad. And then I did have that part in there about Philip's mom. He comes by the house, he has the kids, he says, "Hey, will you take care of the kids for me?" She's like, "Hey, no problem." She had no idea that would be the last time she saw him. She didn't think it was weird that Abby wasn't with him. Like, why would she think that was weird? And like, Abby's coworker was texting with her on October 2nd. So, I mean, it's like, yes, the last time anybody saw them together was October 29th. I couldn't find the specifics of how and when. I assume they drove together to work together. That's probably what the last time anybody saw them was, like they left for work that day on September 29th. People saw them leave work together, and because it was specifically said they were in their car together when they were seen. I'm just kind of guessing at that. Or somebody saw them leave for work together from their house. But, I don't, it seems like Abby was around, was present, was chatting with people on October 2nd. And he dropped the kids off on October 3rd. So, maybe they did have, who knows? It's so unknowable. I don't think and like we do have evidence that, Philip went to the bank on the 4th and the 5th. Who knows what that was about?
It feels like, now that you say that, there are like a lot of parallels with Stephen Bradley. I guess a lot of disappearances have parallels like that.
Mm-hmm.
Similar stories. We talked one time about, you remember we had this conversation where, I don't know where we were, but we were like, if we disappeared, this would be the fiction that people came up with about why we disappeared. Where was that?
Oh, it was when when our flight got canceled and we had to travel.
Oh, yes.
And we did very odd things in order to get home.
Oh my God, you want to tell that story?
I feel like we told it on Swing Shift once before, but
let's tell it again. It's a fun story. Sometimes people miss these.
Let's see if I can remember the specifics of it.
It was was it the trip to
Tucson?
Tucson. Okay, so we flew to Tucson. And our kid was looking at University of Arizona.
And we rented a car to get around the city.
Right. So we flew there on Frontier. And then, Frontier flies from Las Vegas like once a week, or something like that. And we rented a car while we were there. But we rented it from the
Tucson airport?
No,
we flew through Phoenix.
So we flew into Phoenix, then we'd rented a car there because it was much cheaper to fly into Phoenix because it was a big weekend in Tucson. We rented, and we did this all through Expedia because we were like, we're going to save a little money and we're going to get through Expedia. And
drove from Phoenix
to Tucson.
Right.
And we went to EG's.
Yeah. This is okay. Very bizarre story, but this is the second time this week that EG's has come up in conversation, which is very weird.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be weird if you lived in.
It wouldn't be weird if we lived in Tucson, but it is weird that
Right.
We don't.
We don't have EGs here. Shout out to EGs.
Shout out to EGs.
So we drove down and we did the college stuff, and then we
Yeah.
went to the airport, and we were like, all right, cool. We're gonna go home now. We're gonna go home. So we drove back to. No, what were we gonna do?
We woke up in the morning to drive back to Phoenix to go, and we found out our flight was canceled.
Yes. So we were
like, okay, what do we want to do?
So we were like, well, the best option was to just drive home.
Right, because we both have work, and we didn't want to spend another I think we'd have to leave on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to spend another another night in Tucson. Or Phoenix or whatever.
Buy
and Nate
brand new one-way plane tickets.
And
Nate
worse,
had to go to
Nate had school. So we just decided, forget it. We'll take the credit, because Frontier offered us full refund plus $100. I think it was something outrageous. And I was like, I'm just going to take this
for
money.
More flights on their airline on Frontier. Yay.
Which, funny enough, ended up getting canceled. Anyway,
never again.
But so then we were like, okay, well, we'll just drive home. We'll just convert this car rental, this Tucson car rental, to a one-way rental, and we'll just drive it home.
So we could not do that.
No.
They would not let us change it because we rented on Expedia. We couldn't rent the car in Phoenix. We had to rent the car in Tucson, maybe?
Yes, that's right. They wouldn't rent us a one-way from Phoenix to Vegas. We had to do a one-way from Tucson.
So we went to the Tucson airport.
So we had to rent a car from the Tucson airport to take us one way. So I rented that car, and me and our son got in that car, but we still had to return our regular rental car to the Phoenix airport. So we drove in tandem to the Phoenix airport for you to drop off our original rental car, and then you got in the Tucson rental car, and then we drove home. But we were like, if anything happens to us on this trip, everyone is going to have to is going to do some forensic accounting and be like, why did these dodos rent three? What were they doing? Why did they rent these cars? Why did they go to two different EGs? Why were they not together?
We did. We went to we had a miscommunication, ended up at two different EGs.
We were not together. We were not together because we were doing two, you were going to, you had to go return the car. You were just ahead of us because I think you had to fill it up with gas or whatever. I don't remember.
Then we finally ended up together in Phoenix. So then I took the Sky Harbor Sky Train from the car rental.
Because you had to go all the way to rent the car, and I just waited in regular passenger pickup, short-term parking.
Oh my God,
or whatever
that was so terrible. And then it was a 5-hour drive to Las Vegas.
A 5-hour drive to Las Vegas.
Didn't a similar thing?
Yes, people would have been confused.
We do a similar thing. Oh, we did a similar thing from Indianapolis.
No. Oh, yes.
They canceled our flight. So then we used those flight credits to go to frickin' Indianapolis, and they canceled our flight again.
But
they didn't do it until 10 p.m. So then we had to find a hotel, take an Uber to the hotel, sleep until 3 a.m., get up at 4, and be ready for a 5 o'clock flight, which, by the way, was a one-way flight that we had to book on American to get to Phoenix because they wouldn't fly to Las Vegas. So again, we're in the Phoenix airport renting a one-way.
Rent a car.
God, at least they rented us a one-way car. Thank God. Probably didn't do it through Expedia or anything. So we were in the same damn place again, doing a one-way drive to Las Vegas, and I was having serious flashbacks. And we agreed at that point to never do that again.
It. No more bargain basement airlines. No. I don't think. I think we're done with that. So that brings us to our next topic, which is the True Crime Podcast Festival coming up in Boston, July 18th through 20th. Do you remember what airline we're flying to Boston on?
I think we were flying JetBlue.
Oh.
Yeah, we upgraded to the fancy pants.
Nice. I couldn't remember if it was JetBlue. I was thinking maybe it was Delta.
I think it's JetBlue. So we're flying JetBlue.
Nice. Okay.
We're not renting a car until maybe the last day.
Maybe for a day.
Because we're going to see my dad who lives in Boston.
But if you are on the East Coast, if you are close to Boston, we really want to recommend that you come to the True Crime Podcast Festival because it is I don't know. It's just such a great experience. You really get to spend time with the podcast creators at the tables or at the panels. I'm doing a panel
What's the
again
panel
this year.
about?
It is actually about the idea of vigilante action, I guess I'll call it. I don't
That
even
was also the
like
topic
vigilante.
of Daredevil Born Again Season 1.
Yes, it is.
I feel like you
it is,
and Wilson Fisk are on the same side
Me
of
and Wilson
this.
Fisk have something to say about vigilantes. Luigi Mangione, have you heard of him?
I have.
So yeah, the panel's going to be on Luigi Mangione and just
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
kind of like the way we've been looking at the idea of vigilante justice. How does that play out for real? What does that mean? What does justice mean? I know that's kind of like, it seems like existential, right? That's like a very odd question, but yeah, families are seeking justice and some people are taking justice into their own hands. And it's going to be about that. It's going to be about, how people are looking at Luigi Mangione and how some people feel that he is a hero and how some people feel that he is a sex symbol and how some people feel that he is a murderer, and how we don't know what's going to happen when he goes on trial, what might happen, what might be the fallout of a guilty verdict versus a non-guilty verdict what does it say about our culture? What does it say about life in America? What does it say about our justice system? Those kinds of questions. How are people going to react if Luigi's found guilty? How are people going to react if he's found not guilty?
Will this panel be recorded?
I believe so, but I am still waiting for the organizers of TCPF to kind of confirm that.
I think you should definitely push that.
It's going to feature Amanda from the Wine and Crime podcast and Kristen from Murder, She Told. I don't know what day of the festival it's going to be, but I'm really looking forward to doing it.
I think it's going to be really good.
Great.
Next topic. TCPF is great. It's great to be able to meet podcast fans and get to hang out in a smaller venue than some of the larger festivals that we could name. You're not gonna wait in line and pay $30 for a selfie with your favorite creators. You'll be able to like walk up to the tables and say hello and chat and spend time and have a beer with them if you wish, if beer's your thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I love the smaller vibe. Me
too.
I went to Comic-Con in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
When I was a lad, a wee lad. In like 2011. And I like LA Comic-Con better because it's smaller and more manageable.
Oh yeah. I could see that.
That's why I would pick. That's one of the reasons I would pick TCPF. Also, only people who consider themselves to be ethical true crime will be there, which is nice.
Yes.
Who's the keynote speaker?
Yeah. This year it's going to be Eric Carter Landine.
Really?
Yes. He'll be talking about his brother Jacob.
Excellent. Yeah, it's always great to have him.
Yeah, it's always great. And I was talking to him earlier, and we're going to have dinner with him on Friday night.
Nice.
So mark calendar.
Well, maybe we'll take a selfie with him as well.
Maybe.
And then give him a phone charger or something in compensation.
Yes, a phone charger. I wish he would hear this so he could hear you say that.
I hope he listens to this and calls us.
That'd be funny.
Give it up about the phone charger. Come on.
And are you looking forward to going to your hometown, your old stomping grounds?
I am.
You want to take me to the ground round?
Yeah, we'll go to the ground round. We'll crush up some peanuts and throw them we'll throw them on the ground.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Do you remember that about the ground round?
I was talking about that with my sisters earlier. Actually,
how you could like throw shit on the ground?
Well,
that had to be the worst place in the universe to work.
I was vaguely remembering that there was something on the ground, and I was like, was it sawdust? Because I mean, I was
No, it was peanut
very
shells.
young. Yeah. And I like Googled it today, and I was like, no, it was peanut shells. I was like, was it popcorn? Like, I know they had free popcorn, so it was peanut shells. Yeah. So strange, right?
And they're
Peanut
bringing it
allergies.
back.
Peanut allergies. You could never do that today.
It was founded by Howard Johnson's in Massachusetts.
No
it had over
way, really?
200 locations at its peak. Free
I'm
popcorn and
surprised it
peanuts.
didn't make it. I'm surprised it didn't make it because, I mean, it's very similar to like a Bennigan's or a Applebee's, right? Similar. It's like a sports bar, right?
It's casual family dining. It's like more like a Chili's.
Yeah, Applebee's, Chili's.
Yeah, Chili's, Applebee's.
TGI Fridays.
Yeah, I used to love this damn place.
Do you remember how their promo was like for kids, you paid what your kids weighed? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's still a Ground Round in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts? They're not all gone.
Yeah, I remember I told you they just opened one.
Is that the one they reopened?
I think so.
I want to go there so bad. Shrewsbury's not far from where we're going to be. Maybe we'll take my dad there.
Would your dad want to go to the Ground Round?
Can you imagine? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to go to the Ground Round. What is it, 1972? I really want to go there. I don't know if it will live up to the Ground Round in my memory.
You eat there? You eat there?
Oh my God. Tuesdays, penny per pound. Kids' meal is only 1 cent per pound.
What did I just say?
With every adult entree. But here's the thing. This is very traumatizing. I was a fat child.
Even so, your parents were only going to pay like 73 cents for your dinner.
Not my dinner. My dinner was 90 cents. Or a buck. $1.50.
Oh, not $1.50. Give me a break.
Yeah, I was what they would call a husky. Not in a nice dog way either. Yeah. Oh my God, they still do the penny per pound.
They still do it?
Yeah. Yes, I'm looking right at it.
Oh, I thought you were looking at some retro stuff.
I mean, it is very retro, but Thursday kids pay what they weigh at the Ground Round. Penny per pound. 12 kids 12 and under. Why can't I do that? I'm like just in my 50s. Scale use not required.
Oh, so you could just estimate what your kids weigh.
Kids like 30 pounds. Ridiculous. 92% recommended, 11 reviews. They have a Facebook page.
Do they have anything vegetarian?
Yeah, they have a whole vegetarian section.
Oh, read me some of the things.
We've really gone way off the rails.
It's all right. You just edit it out later. Or don't.
I'm leaving it. Vegetarian soba noodles Asian stir fry. Medley of stir fry vegetables, onions, peppers, mushrooms, broccoli,
is not giving me
and a
Ground Round
sweet
vibes.
soy glaze tossed with soba. This is new Ground Round, baby.
Ooh, what do they have in
With
the
grilled tofu.
What do they have in a basket? What do they have in a deep fried basket?
You can get anything you want in a basket at the Ground Round. They have the ground burger. You know, I am disappointed though. They don't seem to have a
They don't have a veggie burger
they don't have
of some description.
they have a black bean burger.
Oh, God.
Black bean burger, like
What
get out of
year
here
is
with a
it?
black bean burger. It's 2025. What are you serving a black bean burger for? Like, okay, if you want to serve a black bean burger, that's fine. That's fine. But or if you want to serve like a goddamn mushroom and call it a burger, fine. You do you, boo. But also, Impossible Burgers and Beyond Burgers exist, and you should offer those as well.
Just keep them in your freezer.
Keep it in your freezer. They last a long time. But
They're
like a black bean
4
burger,
minutes each side.
nobody wants a black bean burger.
Are they also?
That's not. No one eats a black bean burger and goes, this tastes just like a burger.
It's true.
It's never happened. Or like a portobello mushroom. I would
I
would
you hate
rather
mushrooms.
eat a bug than eat a portobello mushroom. It's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. I'm almost as disappointed as I was about the South Point getting rid of their Beyond Burger. They do have fish and chips, though, which is nice.
Oh, good. So they do have something deep fried in a basket.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely in a basket. Yeah, there's things we could eat.
Okay.
Peniella vodka.
Shush, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's stellar at the Ground Round. That's where you go for Italian food.
And pad thai.
Listen, this is not a paid promotion. But
Ground Round, if you're listening.
Ground Round, if you're listening.
We will do host read ads.
We will.
Okay.
About your, what was it called? They used to have something that, I don't remember.
Popcorn?
The popcorn. Do they still have that? I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they have popcorn. All right. I think we can wrap it up here.
I think so. I think we're getting punchy because we recorded this one late. But.
Yeah, it is late. We're going to walk the dogs. All right. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you for being a subscriber. Please go review us in a positive way. Andy, if you're listening, go leave us a review. And
remember what?
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say the thing.
Oh, say the thing. Say it.
What happens here happens everywhere.
Thanks for listening. Visit sinspod.co/subscribe for exclusive bonus content and to listen ad-free. Remember to like and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads at Sins and Survivors. If you're enjoying the podcast, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. You can contact us at questions@sinsandsurvivors.com.
If you or someone you know is affected by domestic violence or needs support, please reach out to local resources or the National Domestic Violence Hotline. A list of resources is available on our website, sinsandsurvivors.com. Sins and Survivors, a Las Vegas true crime podcast, is researched, written, and produced by your hosts, Sean and John. The information shared in this podcast is accurate at the time of recording. If you have questions, concerns, or corrections, please email us. Links to source material for this episode can be found on our website, sinsandsurvivors.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the podcast creators, hosts, and their guests. All individuals are innocent until proven guilty. This content does not constitute legal advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with legal professionals for guidance.